I'm Brittany.
And I'm Heather.
Welcome to Okayest Moms, the podcast.
A place to be more than just mom.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Okayest Moms, the podcast. Brittany here and Heather. Hello. Hi. We are back with another Empty's favorite. It seems like we just did this episode for February, and here we are already doing it for March. I'm very happy with how quickly March is going by because
time is flying.
March is a very long month in school time. Especially when we don't get spring break in March. It's a hormone. Spring break, where are you? Where are you? I just have to share. So earlier this year, no, I guess late last year. I don't know. What is time? Brittany had a TikTok go like fairly viral about making a lunch for the Pioneer field trip. And let me tell you a little story about a bitch called Karma, because I laughed at her making this lunch, and it's like, you should have just chosen to get a hot lunch that day, because then the cafeteria makes into a nice little sack lunch and nobody gives them grief about not making it Pioneer appropriate. So guess who has to go on this Pioneer field trip now as a teacher and just order their costume on. Yeah, just order my costume on Amazon. So hopefully it comes in time, because you never know.
Listen, I totally would have been in for the hot lunch, except this dairy-free kid is not that they accommodate. So I was begrudgingly making this lunch, quotes, Pioneer.
Yeah, for the internet to backseat pack.
You know, most of those comments mostly were, yes, supportive and hilarious. So, I mean, I wasn't like viral in a bad way, I don't think.
But no, it was fine.
Oh, what a wild, wild thing the internet is.
Every time we talk about the field trip at work, I just laugh to myself. I'm like, you idiot. This is what you get.
Did you go on a field trip as a kid?
On that field trip?
Yeah.
No, that one's pretty specific to this area. So I grew up in the Bay Area, and fourth grade was like your time to shine as a field trip. And because we got to go to Coloma and we got to go to Sutter's Fort, which were like long bus rides. And I vividly remember we were allowed to bring like Walkmans on the bus because it was so long. I mean, we're talking like Mountain View to Sacramento. That's like probably 3 hours on a bus. Like, I don't know what these parents and teachers were thinking, but I remember my friend had Seal Kissed by a Rose on Saturday, and we just like listened to it over and over. Oh, and now fast forward 20 years, and I'm literally playing art. Long story short, we're doing a unit in language arts all about technology right now. And so I'm playing these YouTube videos called Kids React. It's like a whole series, and it's kids reacting to old technology. So,
do you feel like you're 100?
And it's just all very humbling. Very humbling. Trying to explain why you can't like just tilt a Walkman to its side.
Come on, great. The skipping. You couldn't run with that thing.
No. I mean, like, unless you had this super fancy, wasn't it like a yellow one that was like a Sportman or something?
Yes. I want it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
No.
When is the last time you replaced your bra? How about your underwear? If you're anything like us, it's probably been longer than you can remember. We get it, bras are expensive, bodies and sizes change, and the search for comfortable options can be never ending.
Enter Harper Wilde. Harper Wilde is a female-founded company that offers affordable and comfortable bras and underwear in extended sizing ranging from extra small to 4XL. They offer wireless and underwire bra styles, as well as underwear options ranging from everyday, no-show waist panties to cheeky luxe thongs, so there's something for everyone.
Harper Wilde also offers a bra recycling program. Each purchase comes with a free mailer to fill up with old bras and underwear. All you have to do is ship it back, and Harper Wilde handles the rest.
You deserve to remember the last time you bought yourself a new bra. Check out the current limited color drops and the full product line at the link in our show notes. Okayest Moms listeners can get 15% off their orders with code GOWILD Okayest Moms. That's WILD, WILDE.
When I tell you that Brittany and I were beyond excited to bring on House of Wise as a podcast sponsor, it's a bit of an understatement. We have both tried various CBD products over the years to little success. Some flat out didn't work, and almost all of them taste pretty gross. I thought House of Wise would be another well-intentioned brand that fell flat, but I couldn't have been more wrong.
House of Wise is a luxury CBD brand that offers gummies specifically formulated to reduce stress, promote better sleep, increase enjoyment during sex, and improve your workouts. Each full-spectrum CBD product is originally formulated, specially designed, and paired with additional thoughtfully selective active ingredients to help women make the most of each day and give more intention and purpose to their daily routine.
My favorite are the sleep gummies. I have the hardest time falling asleep and staying asleep the older I get, and these have the right amount of CBD, so I'm nice and relaxed and just enough melatonin to help me fall asleep without waking up to that groggy feeling or giving me crazy dreams.
And I am obsessed with the stress gummies. They take the edge off after a long day of balancing all the things, as us moms tend to do.
Not only does House of Wise offer great products, they're also a thoughtful, intentional, women-owned company. House of Wise has an ongoing partnership with the Last Prisoner Project, which is dedicated to decriminalizing cannabis.
If you've been thinking about trying CBD, this is your sign to try House of Wise. Go to okayestmoms.com/wise.
Well, my first favorite is kind of a change in routine, like self-care kind of a thing. And I'm only calling it self-care because it just saves my stress level from spiking every day. I have been prepping breakfast sandwiches, and I've even started doing them for AJ too. So now he has buy-in. So we trade off weeks of who has to prep them.
Oh, hell.
We just wrap them up and put them in a baggie in the fridge and just take one out, pop it in the air fryer, toaster oven thing. And it just makes the mornings so much easier, especially when your cat is going to bring an American Robin, which is like the size of a football, into your house in the morning. That is... I'm just going to ask, what do you put on the breakfast sandwiches? But no. So we start with like 5 or 6 eggs, throw in like a half a cup of cottage cheese just to get some more protein in there, and then blend that up. And then if you pour it into a sheet pan and just bake it that way, then they come out like in a sheet. And so we just cut them up into squares and slap it on an English muffin with a little bit of cheese and a little, I'm going to say a disc of Canadian bacon, but that doesn't feel like the right, a slice of Canadian bacon. And that's it. And it's just, I mean, simple and easy. It probably could be like nutritionally better, but you know, it's a means to an end, and it works, and it keeps me mostly full until recess when I can have another snack.
That sounds great.
Or like, yeah,
there's like discs of sausage too.
Yeah, that could work too. That requires a little more prep because you got to cook those too. But
you freeze them or just refrigerate? And then
you can freeze them. Yeah, we just make enough for the week because that's like, I mean, for 2 of us, that's 10 sandwiches, and that's enough prep and effort. But you could totally make a bunch and freeze them. AJ has, for a while, he was making separate ones because he wanted a different kind of meat or something. I can't remember why, but he had like different ingredients. So I was like, do not put any of that shit on my food. So he had frozen his, and he was able to defrost them and eat them, and it was fine. It didn't take that much longer, but yeah. And it's been really nice too, now that sports are under, to have a couple extra for the weekends too, to hold us over, because, you know, when you're running out the door, you have to be there at the 8 a.m. game. It's one less thing to stop at Starbucks or like budget that time in also. And
yeah,
I mean, honestly, it's the same thing as a Starbucks sandwich. So
yeah, for sure. I love that idea. And I like have such a problem feeding myself in the morning, especially like after I like get going. I'm like, just want to keep that momentum going. I have to stop and make myself food and then ingest it. I don't know why it's so annoying.
Yeah, no, I get that. And this just makes zero dishes in the morning, which is another sanity saver later on in the day. Because when I come home and start to make dinner, I don't have to clean up. I don't know, too bad. I don't have to totally clean up the breakfast dishes that have been ignored all day. So love it.
Yeah. Well, my first one is Scandoval. If we haven't talked about Bravo in a while, so you guys just hold it, sit tight.
Well, and this was on the CNN ticker. This was in the New York Times. Like this is huge. This has gone beyond the Bravo universe.
Preceded just Bravo fandom. And really, it's like brought Bravo fans together, like that community feeling when something happens and we all come together and laugh at the memes. And
we need a common villain to rally around, and not many.
And they're always named Tom. It's so weird.
It is very strange.
This has to do, if you are not within this realm of fandom, it is from Vanderpump Rules. And basically,
a show that just last season I was declaring dead.
100%. Right. I mean, all shows have like a bad season or two.
Right.
Some just come back, roaring back.
Oh, God.
I need a diagram to explain this.
I mean, I feel like most people have heard a bitter piece here and there.
Yes, for sure. Basically, Tom Sandoval, one of the two Toms on Vanderpump Rules, was having an affair with his girlfriend, longtime girlfriend. They've been together 10 plus years.
Yeah, good friend.
And it's been going on for a while. There is just a lot of...
There's so many parts and pieces and revelations. And now the show that is currently airing is kind of picking up in real time where the relationship started. So we can kind of see it unfold knowing what we know now. And it's kind of wild to watch.
It's dark. We can see it happening. So I don't know. I just really, it sounds terrible to say I've really enjoyed this unraveling of this relationship.
Well, I mean, yes, because Tom has always been a douche. So to paint a picture, this is a character whose storyline for an entire season was that he just brought a trumpet everywhere he went.
Oh,
so if that gives you a little taste of what you got here.
I can't.
I played the trumpet and thought that people wanted to hear more of him playing this trumpet.
And he's not good at it. Not that, that he was, but he's not. No. Anyway, I just really, I had gone back and watched previous seasons. I don't know if it was Bravo or Peacock that put out like a list of the episodes you should watch if you want to.
No, that came from like
no, it was
Instagram.
It was Peacock.
No.
Yes, I swear. I'll find it.
Wow.
And I'll link it in the show notes. But those are all the episodes, and it tells the bare bones story of
wow. Imagine your employer, like the subsidy of your employer, putting out a whole list of all the reasons why you were such a shitty human.
Oh, right. Well, the Peacock social media manager is really good.
Wow. I mean, because it's essentially a list of here are all the times Tom was a huge asshole to Ariana.
Yes. See, look.
Like that.
Oh, you can't see because my camera's...
Wow. I did not realize it was Peacock who sent it out. I still can't really see it, but I believe you.
Peacock and Bravo TV.
Wow. So I must have seen it like re-shared by a Bravo person.
Wow.
And it's good. So if you're not in on it, you want to be. So wow. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, the rewatch of Vanderpump is 1,000% worth it. It is just a wild show. And then you can go on a tour of West Hollywood of all these places. Like,
it was so fun.
It was so much fun. All right. My next one is kind of like a habit routine mixed with a product recommendation, sort of. We have had the Peloton bike for about 2 years now, and it was starting to just collect dust because no one was really riding it. My whole reason for riding it is I wasn't, for not riding it, I wasn't able to ride as often as I wanted because ever since having kids, my hips are just not the same. I've had to stop running because I cannot strengthen my hip flexors enough to keep up with the miles. I thought the bike would be better because I wasn't like doing the same motion, but it killed my hips just as bad. And pretty much like only thing I can do now is walk. And even then I have some hip pain with it. It's very annoying. So we decided to sell the bike, not because we didn't love Peloton. We're still going to keep our monthly subscription to the other like strength workouts and things like that. Really wanted to get the Peloton Tread, but it's $3,500 for one. And the other part of the reason why we couldn't get it, even if we had a money tree, is that it's a very tall treadmill. And I've read you need at least like a foot or two of ceiling clearance for people running on it. Oh. And we only have 9-foot ceilings, and AJ is an ogre. And like it just like physically would not have worked even if we had all the money in the world. So, bummer. I know. So what we did was sold our Peloton on Facebook Marketplace and then took that money and put it towards a treadmill. And originally I was going to do a walking pad because I've been wanting one forever. But again, my life is dictated by an ogre. And he was not like, they all have a very small weight limit. I think like 200 pounds is most of the walking pads. So that was not going to work. And treadmills are very expensive. I did not really realize. So we kind of got this like mini cross between a walking pad and a treadmill. And I'm so in love with it. It is so much easier. So something about like waking up to get on the Peloton was so hard because I have to put my butt on that stupid seat. I'm going to get so sweaty. Like I'm not ready for that first thing in the morning. And it's just so like the barrier to entry on a treadmill is so much lower. It's like, okay, I just have to get on this and just walk. That's it. And it's just so much easier. And I'm so happy we did it. And I like can prop my laptop on there perfectly and watch my shows. And it's just been such a sanity saver, especially with all this fucking rain we've had and just like coming home after school and okay, I've got like 45 minutes between, activities. I'm going to hop on the treadmill for 30 minutes. You guys go do X, Y, and Z. So we're ready. It's like, it's solving so many problems. And I think we held onto the Peloton way longer than we should have because we wanted it to work, but it just wasn't. And so when we finally accepted that and did this, like it's solving so many problems and I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm on the same place with the Peloton. I haven't used it in a while. It did solve a problem when I first got it. Like we weren't doing anything. Like I've gotten to the point where I accept like it did its job and now it's time to move on.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we held on to it way longer because I was hoping it was all going to work itself out because I wanted it to, but it just wasn't the thing. And it went to somebody who was so excited to have it and she's just like gonna use it every day. And so like it all worked out just fine. But
I guess
so I will link my treadmill in the show notes. It is not a cheap buy, obviously, but we were able to like pretty much make an even swap for what we sold our bike for, which was really nice. But if anyone's in the market or like in the future in the market, I will link it because I really like this one a lot.
Nice. Okay, my next one is technically a podcast sponsor, but I have loved the Harper Wilde sports bras. I love them so much that we got free products into us and I got one of the sports bras. I went and bought 2 more of them because I love them so much. On their website, they're described as low impact, but I would say they're more like medium impact. Like I wouldn't go on a run in them, but like you could weight lift and do yoga in them and it's enough support to handle anything less than running probably. But I just really love them. They're soft. The band doesn't dig in too much. It's not too thin to where sometimes if the band is too thin on me, it's so uncomfortable and I can't stand it. But
I love them, and I would love them even if they weren't a sponsor.
That's funny you mentioned that because I have also been loving mine, and I thought about having it on my list too, but my list got very big very quickly and I had to take some things out. So, but I have to tell you, I was getting dressed the other day, and this is like a me problem. This is not a Harper Wilde problem. And it was like early in the morning. I wake up like extra early that day for some reason. And I was quickly getting dressed, and I didn't realize that I put the bralette on inside out until I like went to go scratch my shoulder like midway through the day, and I could feel the clasp. And I was like, why is it like that? And then like a look later, I was like, oh, it's inside out. And I did not know, like, it was just as comfortable inside out as it was right side out. I am also super, super happy with these bras. I am at the point where, like, if I have something with an underwire, like, I will commit homicide by the end of the day. So, but bralettes are also so like shapeless. Like, I need a lift, I need a shape, I need something here. I'm not 19.
Everything an underwire provides with
exactly.
Got it.
And I have been searching for a bralette that does that, but they're all like so thin, or like this bralette is like the best I've tried a lot.
Yeah.
And so this one I'm very happy with. Inside out, right side out, it doesn't matter. They're reversible. That to your marketing.
Wow. Their underwear is great too. I really like it.
I'm not as big of a fan as the underwear.
No.
It could have just been the styles that I chose as well. I'm willing to try other styles. It's just, I don't love a high-rise underwear, and I don't know why. I know like with certain outfits, I know it has its place. Like I think especially the legging, you need a high-rise underwear, but I hate going to pull up my jeans and then also giving myself a wedgie at the same time. Like it's, again, a me problem, not a Harper Wilde problem.
We good.
All right, my next one, I'm going to give the standard qualifier that we are not doctors. I don't know your specific situation, so take this with a grain of salt. But I have started taking a B12 vitamin. I started maybe 6 weeks ago or so. And to give a little quick background for new listeners, I've been like struggling with some kind of hormone imbalance, possibly. Like basically I've gone to the doctors. Nobody can really give me a solid answer of what's happening, why I feel like garbage every day, why I can't lose weight, why, like on and on and on. And I've been like kind of self-diagnosing based on like what I see on Instagram and TikTok, which I know is not a great thing, but also like everybody who's talking about their symptoms are saying like, I've been trying to go to the doctor for 3 years and nobody can tell me what's wrong. Like we're all having the same common things. And when I talk even anecdotally with friends who are about my age, they're all having these same symptoms. Like I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep, or like all these things. And so finally, after one of the appointments, my doctor had said, okay, just take some B12. And I didn't realize she like buried it in my appointment notes. You know how they have those notes after you go to the appointment. And I had gone to pick up a prescription for one of the kids, and they had scanned my card on accident. And they're like, oh, you have something also, but it's just over-the-counter vitamins. And I was like, oh, okay, then like I'll just get them. And then I like clicked where it all came from. And I was like, oh, I should have been taking these a lot longer ago. Anyways, finally taking them. And I don't know if it's a placebo. Like, honestly, even if it's placebo, that's fine. I will take that. I do not care how this works.
Right. Placebos are still real.
Right. This last month when I had my period, my only clue that my period was coming was that I just happened to remember that I hadn't had it in a while. And I was like, that's weird. Like, because usually, you know, I feel the mood swings. I like feel myself transitioning into somebody who should be locked in a bell tower for a week. I can feel the cramps. I can feel like you know. And this month, my only clue was like, that's weird. And then I literally the next day, my period started. I was like, wait a minute. The only thing I've done different is take this stupid B12. And it was, I'm telling you, not what made me like a slight twinge of a cramp. And everything was fine. And so I don't know
I don't know why this witchcraft works. I don't know if it's for you. Give it a shot. Look it up.
Can buy him a Target.
Yeah. I'm now a B-12 evangelist, and I'm telling anybody with a uterus to do it.
Oh, I love it. I'll add it to my vitamin routine.
Mm-hmm.
Put anything in my body. It's fine.
Why not? Try it out.
My next one, I actually talked about this on our last What We're Feeding Our Families Now episode, but it's HelloFresh. And I had a week where, this is not sponsored by the way, but I had a week where I forgot to choose my meals. And so things came that I normally would not pick. And I was so mad about it.
Oh, I would be so,
I know. But I was like, okay, this is an opportunity to just try something new. And we ended up loving both meals. No, I'm not kidding. Like, just, there weren't like anything crazy. It was just like things I normally would be like, oh, that's just not my taste, you know? But we ended up loving them. So I don't know. They're not like hard meals, nothing. That's why I love it, is because they're easy. They're ready to go. I don't have to think about it. And it just takes like all that stress out of meal planning and making sure we have all the ingredients and recipes and blah, 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 blah. But I am just so really loving it. And it's not, honestly, it's not even like HelloFresh itself. I might like try a different dinner delivery system just to, test out the different waters, because I know there are so many to choose from. So it's literally just taking that stressor off my plate is what I love about it.
Yeah, I love that. Dinners are, God, that's a whole other episode. I don't want to talk about that.
You could know. Yes.
All right. My next one, I really hope you don't need it for the reasons I needed it, but every house needs this. It is a Folex carpet cleaner. It is the greatest of the great. This carpet cleaner can get out anything, including bird blood. If you have been around for a while, you know my stupid cat loves to bring animals into my house. And it's just, that's how we know it's almost spring, because here come all of the animals and critters that have come out of the woodwork. Dude, you guys, I can't. We've gotten him he basically has a cowbell around his neck now, and he still caught a mouse the other day. At least this time he left it outside. That's fine. Please kill all the mice. I don't want them. Just please, all I'm asking, I'm not even asking you to stop killing things. I get it. You're wild, feral. This is life. But just please stop bringing them into my home. That is my only request.
It's not a gift we want, Kat.
Oh my God. So the other morning, we were literally all out in the garage on our way out the door. And I was just about to tell AJ, because the night prior, he had brought in a live mouse.
Oh my God.
I was literally mid-sentence trying to tell him, don't forget to shut the cat door, because if we can adjust the way it swings so he can only go out, he can't come back in. And mid-sentence, Isla busts out, "Always got it covered." And we just, we were all already you're on the, not totally late, but you're on the brink of being late if you don't get your ass in the car right now. It was that moment when he brought the bird in. It's just so it was a whole thing. And I ended up having to leave because me and the kids have to be somewhere at a certain time. If AJ's not to work on time, nobody dies. If I'm not there, everybody knows when I'm late. So it was a whole thing. And I got home before AJ did, so I had to clean it up. And this is the first time this has happened. There was blood.
Oh my God.
And it was so disgusting. And I was so angry. And thank God we had Folex on hand, because I'm telling you, this stuff, I've used Folex since I moved out of my very first apartment and was petrified of not getting my deposit back, and sprayed this all over the carpet, and it worked like a charm. So I am a believer. Folex is the only kind of carpet cleaner you need.
I love it. Yeah, it's good stuff. We don't have a bird blood problem, but sometimes you get some hair mold.
It works when your kid knocks your coffee over. Oh. It works. It works. It works on anything. The problem is it works too well. It works so well that we have literal cleaner spots on our disgusting carpet where it's worked too well. We're like, oh, the carpet's really gross. Oh man. My next one is a mascara. Listen, you and I both have used the L'Oreal. I don't know if you still use it, but we used it for a long time. The L'Oreal, just like drugstore mascara.
Voluminous.
Yeah, voluminous.
Mhm.
That's it. Yeah. Because it was the best one. I had tried expensive ones before and it was like the same shit. So,
It's literally the same stuff.
yes.
And I'm still skeptical of this rec, but continue.
Well, I listen, I didn't want it to work more than anyone. But for some reason, I don't know, it's probably just getting more wrinkles and age, but like it started like making me have raccoon eyes by the end of the day, like black underneath my eyes. And it's very annoying. And so this was recommended by Caroline of G Thanks, just bought it. And it's a tubing mascara, which I truly don't really know what that means, but it doesn't fall off by the end of the day. Like it stays put and it's good and it's lengthening, which is what I always need. And I really like it.
So whenever I think tubing mascara, do you remember in like the early 2000s, late 90s? I feel like that was a gimmick that was being sold with drugstore mascara that you could just like pluck it off your eyelashes basically because there's tubing. Like that's what it makes me feel like. So like that's great that it's falling off and not smudging on your under eye, but like also I feel like it's just falling off. Then I don't quite understand girth.
Well, I don't really understand it either. That's just what it's.
Does it wash off better?
It washes off the same. It's not hard or, I haven't noticed that it's any.
Because in my experience, the stuff that's smudging on my face by the end of the day is an eyeliner. It's not the mascara that's smudging necessarily.
I don't wear eyeliner every day, but
I don't either.
That's
But
mascara that's like falling off.
Okay. All right.
From the
I mean,
bottom, I don't know. I should do a scientific test.
Oh, yeah. And you did like one eye, do one on each eye.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Okay. I don't know. It's just, if my 6, 7, I think it's like close to $9 now, but if that's working, like why? I don't know. I've tried so many fancy mascaras and literally the same thing. I have a pretty full set of eyelashes. My problem is you just can't see them because they're red. So I need it more for color than anything else. So I've never like fallen victim to all those gimmicky mascaras because like I don't need length. I don't really need like fullness or volume. Like I have all those things. I just literally need the pigment.
Yeah. Oh God.
All right. My next one is kind of a boring one, but it's really made a big difference. We got new humidifiers recently and I'm just so in love with them. We had those drop ones that pretty much anybody who had a baby in the 2010s had, and they were very disgusting because they were very hard to clean. But you just throw it back in the cupboard and you don't really pay attention to it. And then you pull it out again and you're like, oh, that's right. This is so gross. Until finally this time we bought new ones, searched high and low. You can spend an insane amount of money on humidifiers and it's, oh my God. We tried, so our early criteria was like relatively inexpensive and could be easily cleaned. We found a Levoit one and it can be paired with Alexa. Apparently this episode is like sponsored by Amazon. But it's so nice because I can't tell you how many times we've like gotten in bed and it's like, oh, didn't turn it on. And I was like, I'm not getting out of bed to do it. It's nice to just tell her to do it. And also you can set them on a timer because we have them in the kids' rooms also. And they never ever turn it off, which is really annoying. And so we just set it on a timer. We never have to worry about that again. So I'm very happy with them. It has been very nice. We are all sinusy, nasally people in our house and we all need a humidifier and it's been very nice to have.
Do your kids refill them?
My kids don't. Why would I let them do something like that?
Because every other night I go in there, I'm like, oh, this is empty again. I hate doing it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of this has been passed off to AJ. AJ's doing all the humidifier management. Great. Yeah. So he like went and bought purified water, and it's stop. I mean, here's the thing: is AJ is a rule follower through and through. So like, if it says purified water, he is going to go buy purified water to put in there.
Wow. Okay.
His whole reasoning was that maybe it will make it cleaner and it won't get so like gunky and gross. I don't know. Whatever. Listen, if you want to drive to the store to buy water, that is your problem. Yeah. I don't know. I also got these little like fish things, and I'll link these too. And there's something in, they're like little fish that float in the humidifier, and they have these little beads in them, which is supposed to help keep the water cleaner too, so that it can last a little bit longer. Because the instructions say you're supposed to clean them every other day. Like, listen, if you have time to clean a humidifier every other day, please come to my house. I have some things that you can do for me with all of your time. Like, we are once a week at best. And I know that's disgusting. Like, I know, but that's life. And so
I think that's fine.
Anything you can drop in there to like extend the life of this, I will buy. And I think they're helping. I don't really, again, could be a gimmick, could be a placebo, whatever. Whatever. It feels like it's working. They're like $3 or $4 at Target or Walmart. And I don't know, my kids love it. Oh, look, there's a fish on my humidifier. So
that's cute, actually. I am going to click on that link in our show notes.
I mean, hey, add it to your next Walmart Target order, because even if it doesn't work, your kids will love that there's something floating in there.
Yeah, for sure. My next one is a hair product. I feel like I can't go through one of these episodes without a freaking hair product.
You are on a whole hair journey.
I really am. You know what? After 2 kids and like postpartum depression and COVID that made my hair fall out, like I am really trying hard over here.
Maybe try some B12.
Yeah, it's on my list. This is for the girlies that color their hair. It's the Amika Bust Your Brass. And like, Heather, I don't know if you know this, but when you get your hair done and you want it more blonde, you have to get it toned. So,
okay, I've heard tell of this.
So that eventually fades over time and it becomes more yellow looking, which is not the look I'm going for personally. So this I use like every other week-ish. Whenever I notice that it's like getting a little more yellow, I use it in the shower. This can be used instead of your conditioner. It has like all the conditioning factors, which is weird for a purple product. So I use it in the shower after all the other things I do, and then leave it on for like 4-ish minutes. I shoot for 5, but I get bored, and then rinse it out. And it's purple, obviously. So then it helps it, but bring the tone down a little bit.
That's not like so much work.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
All right. My next one is kind of a kid recommendation, but great for moms to make your life just maybe a slightly bit easier. It is the Dragon Girls series of books. And this is the first chapter book that Isla has read all by herself, like cover to cover. Not because she has been incapable of it, but it's just, she sees the length of the chapters, she sees the length of the book, and she's just like, I can't, it's too much. Like, she just like shuts down and like doesn't want to read it, which again, it's intimidating. Yeah. So I'm not going to lie. I've probably spent 10 hours of my life listening to what these books are about. I can't tell you what they're about because I've stopped listening. I know that there are different colored dragons who have different kinds of powers. And then they also have like a dragon friend who is a different kind of critter with a similar power. Listen, dragon, female heroines, critters, like that's all you need for like a 7 to 9-year-old, like early chapter book girl. Like it's all there. I promise. To the point where like we bought it as a gift for a birthday party we just went to because she's just like that into it. And there's a series of them. They're all available. We got it at the book fair. So they're around. We literally like stopped everything we were doing the day she finished it because she was so proud of herself. I was like, we got to keep this momentum going. We went straight to the library, got another one. And it's just whatever I can do to facilitate the reading, because she can read. She's reading at a much higher level than second grade, but she just can't. She needed the confidence of getting through one chapter book, which I get, like books are daunting like that, especially for the way she's wired. So I was like, anything we can do to keep this going, because I'm tired of like begging you to read anything. Like she'll sit there and read a pigeon book, which is great. I love them, but also like you need to be challenging yourself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, too familiar over here.
I can see Sullivan loving them too.
Oh, he might. Yeah. No, he is this is a whole nother episode. Talk about reading. So funny because I have the adult version of that book on my list. It's the A Court of Thorns and Roses series.
Okay, explain this to me. Keep seeing it, and like when I look at these books and what I think they would be about, and then what I hear they're about, are two very different things, and I'm very confused.
Well, I know if you read,
They're smut, right?
there is some smutty stuff in there. Yes.
Okay.
And
But then I'm like, where is this Game of Thrones dragon cover coming from? Like, what? But I guess Game of Thrones was kind of smutty too. So
it totally was. And if you read those books, they're even darker than the series.
Yeah.
Hard to do. But it's kind of along those lines. The reason I started reading them is because they're coming out with a Hulu series about them. And I love Game of Thrones. I love like shows like that. So I wanted to read before it came out. I love it and I hate it. I feel like our heroine is definitely like an anti-hero in some ways, but I think that's what makes it good too. It's not like just good versus evil, it's much more layered than that, but it's fantasy. There are fairies in it. There are creatures in it. There are, it sounds a lot like Isla's books right now.
yeah, the ex-wife.
The adult version, because there is some spiciness.
Okay. One book I just finished, which I was kind of on the fence about reading because she wasn't really like my teen actress era, but I just finished I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. And she was in iCarly and all those other Nickelodeon shows, which are not, those are like I have younger sisters, and that was their era. It was not my Disney. She's not like, she's not like a Hilary Duff or something like that. But everyone had loved it, and it was on Audible. And I had credits to burn. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It was really good. It was really interesting. And so she talks about struggling with a narcissistic mom and abuse and her eating disorder. And so some of it might be tough if any of that resonates with you. But the way she speaks about it now, and just like hearing from like a child actress who was really pushed into it for reasons that had nothing to do with her. And it was a good read. I thought some of the chapters were a little clipped. Have you finished Harry's book yet?
No.
Or listened at all? His chapters are really short and clipped. And it's like, you keep like, they'll announce like, oh, chapter 12. And you're like, wait, that one's over? Like, weren't you in the middle of a story? So that writing style is kind of annoying to me, but it does all come together like full circle in the end, and you get to hear her whole story. So it was a good listen.
Yeah, that's been on my list for a while. Does she read it on Audible?
She does. Yeah.
My last one is studs earrings. So I got my second holes pierced, I don't know, like months ago now, 3 or 4 months ago. And I had forgotten how hard it was for my first holes to heal. I just have like super sensitive ears that are like babies and can't handle anything. And these earrings have really helped. Like they're for sensitive ears. They have the flat back ones. So it's easier to sleep in them. So you don't have to take them in and out every day, which really like does a number on mine. But I just really love them. And they have such cute ones too. And you can buy them single, like if you have, an earscape situation happening, which I do not. Now I'm terrified.
Please,
anything else.
Please never say the word earscape.
That's what they say. They trademarked it.
I do not condone that.
I do not approve. But I've just really been loving them. They're a cool company too. They have piercing studios in some cities throughout, and they're growing. And
I'm thinking of a different company. There's one company who sounds similar to this one that does it in Targets, but none of them are around us. I've been researching because Isla really wants to get her ears pierced, and I don't really want like Maddie down at Claire's to do it. And I don't, not Maddie, really like Riley Lynn. And I know, whoever, whatever her name is. And going to like a tattoo piercing place is very expensive.
it is.
Like very expensive. And for a kid who may or may not keep them in and may or may not have them close up the next week, like I don't want to pay $75 an ear for that. So
Wow, it's so hard.
yeah. So I've been on the hunt. Maybe I'll see what they have. All right, my last one is a show, and I just love it so much. It has been such a bright spot. Actually, it's on Apple Plus. Is Apple Plus TV? There's so many good shows on there right now. I feel like that's pretty much all we're watching is Apple Plus shows. My current favorite is Shrinking. Harrison Ford is in it.
Wonderful. Jason
So
Segel.
good. Jason Segel. Like all I can think when I see him is Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is like one of my favorite movies ever. Honestly, the whole cast is so great.
Yeah.
And I want all of their wardrobes. They're all so good. I'm mostly just, as I'm watching, what's that website where you can like search what people wear on TV? I'm just on it the whole time.
In her office, I'm looking for it.
Yes. But Jason Segel is a therapist who's lost his wife, and he has a teenage daughter, and so it's about him and working with all of his other therapists, and just like, it's very Ted Lasso-y. If you love Ted Lasso, you love this. It's really funny. It's a good feel-good show. It's very real. I just love it.
It's so quippy and hilarious. And like, it's just one of those shows where you watch it, like you don't pick up your phone because it's so good.
Unless you're searching like, where did you get that really cute dress?
Right. Where can I get that dress?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you have it. March favorites. I'm proud of us for sticking in this for 3 months.
I know. You know what? At the beginning, it was hard to come up with a bunch of favorites, but I'm glad that we've expanded it beyond products because I love a good rec. It can get kind of boring after a while. So
yeah. And there's more or less than buying shit. Damn it.
Right. Exactly. Screw the man.
All right. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show, share it with your friends, rate and review. We just appreciate you all so much. Thank you for listening.
If you like what you just heard, and we hope you do, you can find more of us online at www.okayestmoms.com. We're also on all social media platforms, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Okayest Moms Blog. Or if you want to, you can send us an email at hey@okayestmoms.com.